Good morning, my dear students. Let's continue with Unit 4, Lesson 3. Today our lesson will be grammar lesson. Into space, comparative and superlative adjectives. Now, my dear students, we have something called comparative and superlative adjectives. Comparative adjectives, I use these adjectives to compare between two. So I'm going to add ER to the adjective and plus than to say, for example, Hannah is smarter than another girl. Ahmed is stronger than another boy. So I'm doing a comparison between two people. I can also compare between two things. Okay, so I'm going to get the adjective, add ER plus than between the two nouns. Actually, the superlative adjective, I add EST at the end of the adjective to say that this is the extreme thing that I use to describe, the adjective to describe the noun. I want to say that it has the extreme of this adjective. So I'm going to add EST. This is the superlative adjective. Now we're going to know more about them. Let's go through the slides. Small, this is a small thing. Smaller, comparative. Smallest, this is the superlative. So small, smaller, smallest. I have big, bigger, biggest. This is the extreme of the thing, whether the extreme, the biggest, or the smallest. I have fast, faster, and the fastest. Now, there are 3 degrees of adjectives: positive adjectives, comparative adjectives, and superlative adjectives. The positive, it is the stem, I can say the stem or the real name of the adjective, like fast, big, hot, small. The comparative form of this adjective, I can say fast, faster than, big, bigger than, hot, hotter than, small, smaller than. Now I'm going to talk about the superlative form of the adjective. I want to say the extreme of this adjective. So I will say fast, the fastest, big, the biggest, hot, the hottest, small, the smallest. So this is the difference between the positive adjective, the comparative adjective, and the superlative adjective. According to the comparative adjective, adjectives describe nouns. We said that before, that we use the adjective to describe the nouns. They come before the nouns or after verb to be. After verb to be or before the noun. They have the same form in singular and plural. I don't change them according to singular or plural. They have the same form. For example, Noha is pretty. Another example, Noha is a pretty girl. So here, pretty, the adjective comes after verb to be. And in the other sentences, I have both verb to be and the noun. So pretty comes in the middle. Noha is verb to be, pretty, the adjective, and girl is the noun. Colors, all colors are adjectives. I use to describe things according to their colors, so I'm using colors as adjectives. Comparative adjectives are used to compare two nouns in one sentence. As I said before, I use the comparative adjectives, the comparative form of the adjectives, to compare between two nouns in one sentences. The adjective, its form. How do I form the comparative adjective? The adjective plus ER plus than. I have some spelling cases I have to take care from. Adjectives ending with E What am I going to do? I will add only R. Close, closer. Mercury is closer to the sun than Venus. Closer to than, okay? So I have closer to the sun than Venus. I'm comparing now between Mercury and Venus. I have two nouns. I want to compare between them in one sentence. So I'm going to use the comparative adjective of the adjective close. So I'm adding R, closer to the sun than Venus. Short adjectives ending with CVC. What's the meaning of CVC? C, consonant, V, vowel, C, consonant. We double the last letter before adding ER, like the adjective big. I have the G at the end is a consonant. I have CVC word. What am I going to do? I will double the last consonant letter, double G, and then I will add ER. Earth is bigger than Mars. I'm comparing between Earth and Mars. So I will say Earth is bigger than Mars. So case number 1, adjectives ending with E, I add R. Case number 2, the words that, the adjectives, the CVC adjectives, I'm going to double the last letter, the last consonant letter, and then add ER. Case number 3, adjectives ending with consonants plus Y. What's the meaning of consonant? We said that before. Consonants are all letters, not vowels. All letters, not vowel. When they come before the Y, when the Y comes at the end of the adjective, and there is a consonant before, what am I going to do? I'm going to cancel the Y and add I-E-R. Cancel the Y, add I-E-R. Like the word pretty. Pretty, I have the T, the consonant letter, and then Y. So I'm going to cancel the Y, I'll put I-E-R. It will be prettier, prettier. When the adjective consists of more than 2 syllables, we form its comparative by using more plus the adjective plus than. We said syllables like what? Parts. Syllables means part. When I have an adjective that contains more than 2, what am I going to do? I will add the word more before the adjective plus than. Like what? Interesting. Interesting. How many syllables? More than 2. So I'll say more interesting than. More interesting than. Okay? So the first case, when the adjective ends with E, I add R. When the adjective ends that is a CVC adjective, I'm going to double the consonant letter at the end and add ER. Case number 3, when I have consonant plus Y at the end of the adjective, cancel Y and put IER. And the fourth case is when I have an adjective that is more than 2 syllables, I will add the word more before the adjective plus than. More plus the adjective plus than. Now we talked about the regular forms, the regular comparative adjectives. Here in this slide, we are going to talk about the irregular comparative adjectives. What's the meaning of irregular? That the word change completely. It's forming a new word, not the same. Before, we just add ER or add double the letter, add ER or put IER or whatsoever, and the stem of the adjective keeps as it is. But here in the irregular comparative adjective, I'm changing the word to totally another word. Like what? The positive adjective, good. I want to say that it's level more than good. I will say better. Good, better. Bad, worse. Many or much, more. Little, less. Far, farther or further. Farther or further. Now we're going to talk about the superlative adjective. Superlative adjectives, the extreme of the adjective, the extreme of the adjective. It is the highest level of the adjective. I want to describe it with the highest level. How am I going to do this? Superlative adjective used to compare between one or more. The comparative between two, only two. But the superlative, I'm going to compare between one and more. One syllable. I have one syllable adjective, two syllables, and two or more syllables. Here the example, I'm going to say the elephant is the biggest animal. I have three pictures, the dog, the elephant, and the mouse. Which one is the biggest animal between them? The elephant. So the elephant is the biggest animal between the three of them. One syllable, I'm going to write the word the plus est at the end of the adjective. And of course, as we said before, the CVC adjectives, I'm going to double the end of the consonant letter at the end, and I will also put est. The big, the biggest, small, the smallest, the tall, the tallest, short, the shortest, long, the longest. This is one syllable adjective, one syllable word. Now, two syllables ending in Y. I have adjective that consists of two syllables, and at the same time it's ending with Y. What am I going to do? I'm going to cancel the Y and change it to I to be more easier to pronounce and even to spell with writing est at the end after I. Heavy, 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 two syllables, the heaviest. Friendly, the friendliest. Happy, the happiest. Funny, the funniest. Pretty, the prettiest. Now I'm going to talk about two or more syllables, okay? But actually, the adjectives that has more than two syllables, it's the most correct to use the word most before it. Like the word beautiful, more than two, beautiful. So I will say, I can't say the beautifulest. No, I'm going to use the word the most, which is the superlative adjective of many or much. The most beautiful, the most interesting, the most difficult, the most dangerous, the most expensive. This was the regular part of the superlative adjectives. Now I'm going to talk about the irregular. Irregular, that I changed the adjective from the stem word to another new word. We said the irregular comparative adjectives before. We're going to tell you about them again, and then we will add the superlative adjectives of them. Good, better, best. Good, better, best. Bad, worse, worst. Bad, worse, worst. Little less, least. Little less, least. Much more, most. Much more, most. Far, further, furthest, or far, farther, farthest. This was the irregular form of the comparative and the superlative adjectives. I hope, my dear students, that you understood very well the difference between the comparative and the superlative adjectives and the regular and irregular forms. Thank you so much for today. See you next time.